Growing up, all of us knew who our favorite NBA player was, right? And for a lot of us, that player was LeBron James. Well, the GOAT has come forward to shed some light on his faves during the Lakers Q&A session. And today, we're going to be talking about just that. Without further ado, let's dive right in, starting with LeBron James' favorite player. Just recently, NBA club facilities throughout the league were bustling with activity as the league hosted its annual media day. Their greatest performers had the opportunity to speak to their fans, outline their goals for the next season, and address other topics of interest. King James himself got in on the action, and to the surprise of absolutely no one, he had some pretty interesting things to talk about. When someone asked the player to select his favorite player from the youth, he had an answer ready. Now, before we tell you who he named, what do you think his answer will be? If your guess was Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, we got bad news for you because unfortunately, you're wrong. LeBron instead said that Ken Griffey Jr. was his favorite athlete growing up. Griffey Jr. was consistently a top performer when he was active in baseball. After joining the Seattle Mariners, he established himself as one of baseball's most recognizable faces. Ken dominated the field like no other with an unmatched swagger and talent. In the 90s, baseball fans everywhere looked up to him, and apparently LeBron James was part of the fan base. Let's talk about the similarities between LeBron's and Ken's careers. James has already shown his admiration for other basketball greats like Michael Jordan and Julius Erving, so this is another amazing pick from his end. On the baseball field, Griffey stood with the all-time greats. With a lifetime batting average of .284, 630 home runs, and 1,836 RBI, his career stats speak for themselves. He finished his career with several accolades, including Most Valuable Player, 13 All-Star selections, 3 Home Run Derby titles, 10 Gold Gloves, and 7 Silver Sluggers. And not to forget, he had the finest swing the sport has ever known. Now, coming to his time with our current GOAT, LeBron James moves on to the NBA while Griffey Jr. was still in baseball. Both athletes were at the top of their game at the same time. In spite of the fact that Griffey Jr.'s career was cut short by several injuries, he is universally regarded as one of the game's all-time greats. LeBron James, meanwhile, is one of the 2 greatest NBA players of all time, so we kind of see how the latter would be a fan of Ken. During his time in Major League Baseball, Griffey personified coolness, particularly with the Seattle Mariners. He effortlessly floated over the outfield, had the cleanest swing in baseball history, and often wore his cap on his back, exactly how the cool kids used to do it back in the day. A whole generation of kids was probably inspired by Jr. to take up sports because of him, and LeBron was one of them. The Lakers star said that he wants to add to his legacy by taking the Lakers to the NBA Finals this year. After a rough 2021-2022 season, the Los Angeles Lakers might be in for a comeback year with James at the helm. Up next, here's another one of LeBron's favorites. LeBron will forever serve as the standard by which the NBA is judged. Regardless of all the criticism, he remains a leading voice in the NBA. Another time, while answering questions from his Twitter followers, he mentioned another one of his favorite NBA players.
Luka Doncic. Ask me right now. Come on, guys, it's not rocket science.
This time, the answer was Luka Doncic. Who could possibly hold it against him if he took pleasure in how Doncic dominates the field? After all, even the most skeptical of NBA fans can't hold back on praises when it comes to Luka. But the relationship between James and Luka is an old one. Ever since Luka entered the sport, James has been attempting to woo Doncic. And we're not talking about persuading Doncic to come play for the Lakers. No, we're talking about LeBron trying really hard to make Luka the public face of his own Nike line. He ended up going with Jordan for his line, but rumors have it the man is still willing to bring the junior player in. How cool is that? LBJ is second to none when it comes to encouraging and praising up-and-coming athletes. It's easy to forget that before James made it big in the NBA, there was a time he was attending games left, right, and center just so he could see Steph Curry play, and now the same kid with ambitions is seen giving him advice. Moving on to other related news. First up, Lakers with a sad start to the season. The Los Angeles Lakers' terrible start to the season continued on Wednesday as the winless NBA heavyweights slumped to a 4th consecutive loss against the Denver Nuggets. Jeez. Nikola Jokic scored 31 points and pulled down 13 rebounds in a 110-99 victory for Denver that left the Lakers anchored at the foot of the Western Conference standings at 0-4. Bruce Brown got 18 points, Jamal Murray made 13 points, and Jeff Green scored 10 for the Nuggets. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope even had 13 points before severely spraining his left ankle on the move late in the third quarter, so their team was amazing performance-wise. On the other hand, James ended with 19 baskets and Anthony Davis 22, but it was another unpleasant night for the Lakers. They reached halftime deadlocked at 54-54 before being outscored 32-17 in a lopsided third quarter in Denver. Another issue was that the Lakers competed without Russell Westbrook, who was out with a left hamstring injury.
Fast-paced, quick stop and go, and I just happened to put myself in.
Their 0-4 start to the season mirrors their start to the 2015-2016 campaign, when the club would go on to have the worst season in franchise history, ending with a 17-65 record. We really hope history doesn't repeat itself. This is the fourth time in team history that they have opened a season with an 0-4 record. All in all, it was a horrible start to the season, but we can only wait and watch to see how the rest of it pans out. Following up, Kyrie condemned for promotion of anti-Semitic film. First it was Kanye, now Kyrie. What is going on with all these stars?
Documentaries on Yahweh. So went in the search bar, typed in Yahweh, that came up.
Irving apparently endorsed a film called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America, which is packed with anti-Semitic stereotypes, as Rolling Stone reviewed just recently. So what happened was that Irving recently tweeted a link to the film's Amazon website. The film, which premiered in 2018, was adapted from the eponymous book published in 2015. Now, there was some backlash. Brooklyn Nets owner Joe Tsai released a statement Friday night denouncing guard Kyrie Irving's choice to promote an anti-Semitic film and literature on his social media sites. He remarked that he was upset that Kyrie seemed to endorse a film based on a book full of anti-Semitic falsehoods. He also added in his tweet that he wants to sit Kyrie down and make sure he realizes this is painful to everyone, and as a man of faith, it is unacceptable to encourage hatred based on race, ethnicity, or religion. The Brooklyn Nets strongly reject and have no tolerance for the propagation of any sort of hate speech, the club stated in a statement. They also added, "We feel that in these instances, our first move must be open, honest discussion. We appreciate the help from the Anti-Defamation League and others." Irving still needs to answer the choice to advertise the book as well as the film. We're really curious to see what his response would be and how he'd defend his tweet. And as soon as he responds, we'll come to you right away. Finally, DeMar DeRozan made a new record. Just recently, DeMar DeRozan became the 50th player in NBA history to score 20,000 points. He did it in dramatic fashion, sinking a mid-range jumper in the middle of the first quarter in San Antonio. The 13-year veteran has been scoring 20.8 points per game for the Raptors, Spurs, and Bulls on 46.5% shooting and 83.8% from the free throw line. Before the 2021-22 season, DeRozan signed with the Bulls as a free agent after spending the previous 3 years in San Antonio. Now, this was after the Kawhi Leonard deal that sent him to Toronto. At the age of 32, he put together a season in which he averaged a career-high 27.9 points on 50.4% shooting, which was good enough to make the All-NBA second team. In addition to his first-team accolades in 18-19, DeRozan was named to the second team in 17-18 and the third team in 16-17. After 2 consecutive 30-point games to start the season, DeRozan found himself in the top 5 in the early Kia MVP ladder. This is a huge achievement for him, and as he gradually rises to the top, we are getting the privilege to see some amazing skills from him. And that's a wrap for this video. What did you think of LeBron James' favorite player? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.